And then he goes, and then...
Oh, it's so good.
It was like...
Oh, that shot is one of my favourite shots. And I've told
so
you my
glad.
favourite shots, and that's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm so glad.
It's just the focus. If this was a 3D movie, imagine you'd have Charlie hitting you in the face.
And then all of these shots, it was actually kind of hard to figure out what is the order of all these shots going to be for maximum like tension building.
Absolutely.
And also again the geography of the scene, like where is everyone, what's going on, making it not seem like it took too long for Cooper to get up as well, and like all that sort of stuff. And then I love this. Yeah, you see it's coming.
Oh, here it comes.
And then bang. And you'll love where's you can see there for every single one of these shots, at the end of the lightsaber, that end, you actually could see the color of the plastic inside all throughout the video. In the shots where the lightsaber is down.
Yes.
So
yes, I see what you
I
mean.
had to go by hand and change that. But again, to be completely honest, you'd be watching it and you'd go, oh yeah, that's the plastic lightsaber.
Yeah.
But because it doesn't have that, you're like, oh, it's a real lightsaber. It's the difference.
Exactly.
It would have taken you out.
I mean, as soon as you remove it, it suddenly becomes a real lightsaber.
Yes.
Like it's actually a real lightsaber.
Yeah.
It's not the plastic one still. It's yeah.
And then building.
Up he gets and you can see him in the background.
This shot. Man, I'm glad we thought ahead with this, because this is actually a weird. Like, think about it.
It is actually kind of weird.
Was Charlie using the Force, but I can't remember how we thought of it. But we had the foresight, thankfully, to have Cooper stand up in the background, so it continues this motion, which I just think, and so it builds the anticipation, and it's like a double. It's doubly effective rather than doing two separate shots. Completely. Oh, I'm just glad it paid off.
It's again, you're not using too many cuts. You're actually conveying all the information in one shot,
while also still cutting quickly. And the lightsabers. And look, you can see Zach's in the background there. Look at his little knees in the bottom right.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
And again, he had to lie down for about 10 minutes to get that shot.
There's a lot of lying down on the job.
Ooh. And I love there's this little listen to the I love the sound of the Force that I got as well. Technically, look, you can see even Charlie's there.
Wow. All these things you're noticing about your own movie and close inspection.
For all the people that said you'd never go frame by frame. And I love the sound of the Force. I got this low rumbling sound with the subwoofer. Just sounds awesome. It like shook the room, and then you hear this like. Did you hear that? I think that might have been your if and not mine.
Play it again for you. I don't think it was...
You might not be able to hear it without the surround sound.
I did hear something. Yeah.
And then, now I love this shot. This shot is I think 7 or 8 frames, but there's so much going into the shot. For one, I love the way it looks. This wide frame.
It's perfectly framed in the middle. You've got the background of the
Zach are in this.
And it's the same as that shot earlier, which we spent a lot of time talking about, where we saw the establishing shot. Remember that one?
That's
so it's like this one, but bring it back.
I love this. And then the lightsaber flies in, ignites it. Cooper does his swing, and then we get the first clash, bang! And this is we can finally see the lightsabers for the first time.
Full glory,
and first clash.
And previously we saw it laying on the ground almost, but now we're seeing it.
That's right.
Right in the middle of the shot. Oh, that's brilliant.
And you hear the crackle. And they're
zooming in. We could do this all day.
I love.
This is brilliant.
This is all hand crackled as well. I had to change it for every shot and change
It's actually really hard to make that look realistic, isn't it?
To be honest, yeah.
It is really hard, but you've done such a great job of making it look
flare
genuine.
As well. And I really wanted these clashes to in sometimes actually even in the Star Wars movies they're always just orange. like an orange clash.
Yeah.
But I really like how in the new movies, more often than not, they actually, the clash color is more of a combination of the lightsaber colors, which completely makes sense.
Yeah, because the light, it's light. It's a lightsaber.
Yeah.
We're having fight between two colors of light. So yeah, it makes sense.
So this essentially, it's got a little bit of orange you can see as well, because I still think the orange is nice, but it's got this flare across. You can see a little bit of the, you can see a little bit there, Nathan, the detail in the crackle on Cooper's lightsaber.
I can kind of see it.
Just a tiny bit. Yeah, it's subtle, but and the clash is mostly a slightly like a light purple, which I figure is kind of the combination of blue and so that's cool. And then I love these little dolly shots in. Oh, intense! I can't believe he stopped me.
Yeah.
And then Charlie's determined. Originally, the shot was actually more of a. But I was like, nah, Charlie's got to be determined.
No, he's serious at this point. He means business now. He's like, I'm the older one. You're not having the donut. It's my donut. The intensity. Good. Just he's admiring Josh's hard work on the lightsaber effects. Look at how well affected that. It's brilliant. It's brilliant.
All right, let's watch the first sequence of the lightsaber fight.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Listen to the surround sound effects. This is the first time we've seen it.
Boom, boom.
And we still don't get a fully clear view. We kind of want to still tease a little bit. Oh, I love that shot.
Oh, it's brilliant.
And then more clash. And then,
So it's a few strikes, and it's all rhythmic. Yeah. It's not like it's like chum 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 chum, and then they have a break, and then the chum chum chum. So yeah, it feels very rhythmic too.
And I loved adding
handy
surround
cam
sound here as well. As you can see, Cooper's lightsaber goes like if you listen to it, it's kind of on the left, and it goes boom boom boom.
Yeah, I heard
your
that.
side of it.
I heard that. I get all the good sound.
And when you, we got to get half of it. Sometimes
you
I
can
don't
have this
hear
one
any
if you want.
swings. No,
all right. Need to make a mono.
With it there. And then
bam. And the cuts. The cut you did there happened at the same time as the strike too.
Yes. Yeah. Generally aim to cut on motion, so then it like hides the cuts. And
gee, they look like they're having fun.
And then bang.
And it's more impactful when you do
the foot sound effect as well. That's actually, I created it from about 4 different sounds. It's really hard to get a foot sound effect that sounds legit.
Yeah.
They usually are like whoosh, and it sounds way too over the top. It doesn't sound like it's actually in it.
Yeah. But no, they sound really correct here. Yeah. It was like a sort of soft pad.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's how it would sound.
Exactly. Not too over the top. And then going through the trees.
And then we're checking back, and through the tree. That is clever.
And I love these moments show this lens flare thing.
Oh, yeah.
That I added. Wow. I think that you never think about it, but it actually really ties it into the scene because it looks like a natural flare on the lens. And so, it's pretty rare that it's this obvious. I think it's great that it's this obvious at this point. But that just really ties it in, I think. And then I love this bit of Cooper. And then Charlie's like, oh no! Bang, bang. Oh, I love that shot. Oh, watch it again. Bang, bang, bang.
Oh, and then you see that a lot in the Star Wars movies where they're down and then they do the twirl.
Yeah.
What do you call it? This, not this bit. This bit. Down here, they go.
This?
Yeah, what do you call that?
I don't know.
You call it something, but it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really clever.
Pretty cool.
And now they're extended. And again, the cross is in the middle.
Oh, it's so
right at the middle of the shot.
And you hear the crackle as well.
The crackle. At the moment, we're not hearing anything, but but that's all right. We can imagine the sound. And then the bushes. Through the bushes. Into the bushes. You feel like you're right there with them.
Oh, I'm so
it feels
glad.
very immersive.
It's supposed to feel very visceral, and the camera always moves with them and just every single shot kind of enhances what's going on. So.
You know, some people might watch this bit and go, geez, I'm worried about the safety of the cameraman at this point. He's very close to the action. Luckily, no one was hurt.
Yeah.
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 No one was hurt at this part.
And then we go.
You want to move on? Yeah. Let's have a look.
Unless there's anything.
No. Let's. We better keep going.
I've got lots of. Yeah. Anyway.
With the movie magic must stay movie magic, Josh.
True. Yeah, you can't completely. Now, at this moment, originally, and Charlie and Cooper will remember filming this. It cuts to Cooper and his lightsaber's up, and he goes shoo, and he puts it down, and then Charlie goes shoo, and his lightsaber goes in, and they're at a bit of a distance from each other right now, which you see a bit later, and they kind of Mexican standoff each other a bit, and they walk up, and it cuts between their eyes, like, you know, that sort of thing.
You get the music playing in the background, bow, 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 bow,
just in that one scene, that's some Western music. But in the end, it just slowed everything down. it was actually just pointless. And that was a lot of it.
It was more stupid than silly.
Yes. There was probably about 1 minute of footage that was supposed to be like scenes kind of that was supposed to be in the video that I ended up cutting out. And again, part of that I was actually up to Justin watching it and going, like, why is this in here? I love everything that's going on, but this just, what's the point?
Yeah.
And I love that. And the whole point, I hope as you watch it, is everything feels intentional. It's always exciting. There's always things happening. Nothing feels like it's taking too long. The only time where it's a bit slow is when it's anticipating the next thing that's coming up.
But you want that. You want people to have a moment to sort of think about that there's something about to happen.
That's right.
Rather than just have everything happening all the time.
Yeah.
You've got to have slow moving.
Sure.
You know, in a feature-length film, you have some bits where it's just pretty chilled, and then you have action bits. I mean, in a 30-minute film, you haven't got much time for chilling out.
No.
But you've got to find a little bit of time for
That's right. In the end, obviously, the cousins are here to have fun.
Yeah.
They want to watch themselves.
They're not here to talk.
They're
here to just strike
most
each
of
other
it out
down.
of the way right at the start of the video just to set the scene.
Yeah.
Oh, and we should mention as well, actually, for the tracks of the 3-act structure so far. So there's the like setup of the world. I don't know the technical terms, but you kind of set up the world. This is the new norm. The inciting incident. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's probably like when they use the force and they all fall backwards.
I thought the inciting incident was when the
cousins. They bring the I'm not sure. It's like because that moment doesn't bring tension. I wonder if the inciting incident is when there's tension.
When they realise there's only one.
Maybe I'm not too sure. Anyway, that's all right.
The movie's done
now. Tension
now.
starts and suddenly there's conflict, and that's when you're gonna start. And that's when they all fall backwards. Then it starts Act 1 essentially.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what are the consequences of that? And that's when we see them all knocked out. That's when we see Cooper does the lightsaber, and okay, now they're gonna fight about it. Now we know what's gonna happen. And then this is the first act essentially. Is this? I'll let you know when the first act's over. But this is this section.
For those
sorry.
For those of you playing along at home, see if you can guess when the end of Act 1 happens.
Yes. Yeah. I think it's pretty key. Yeah, it's pretty obvious is what I meant to say. Yeah.
So if you don't get it, you're a fool.
And originally as well, the reason I mentioned that walking bit is this didn't cut to Kira. Like you can see here, cuts to Kira. Originally it didn't. It just stayed on Charlie. Sorry, no, then it cut to Cooper.
Originally didn't they just have a chat? Yeah.
Yes, well then they did the Mexican standoff and it continued. And so essentially the entire Charlie versus Cooper first fight, all in the bushes. I love the woods of this whole bit.
That's great, yeah.
The entire fight was just supposed to continue. And you just continue. And then when it gets up to Cooper and he says, "Wait, Charlie, look!" It cuts to black again. For the third time.
Yeah.
Once was fun. Twice was also kind of fun. 3 times again, a little bit much. this movie's only so long.
Just over
and then it was supposed to cut back in time to see Kira here.
We were wondering what had happened to Kira. We hadn't
Yes.
seen her for a few seconds. So we need to come back and find out what's going on with Kira.
That's right. And so the idea was, it just and then it cut back, and then it showed all of Zach and Kira's bit. But again, my friend Justin was like, "This is interesting," but for one thing, it didn't quite make sense. The cut back in time was a little bit confusing.
Yeah.
Two, the cut to black again. You each time you cut to black, you lose a bit of momentum, which at the start is fine because there's mystery in it, and also again it's still at the start. It's still only building a little bit of momentum. Once you really get going, which is when Cooper does his lightsaber, you kind of don't want to slow down, or at least you don't want to stop.
No,
and so and
about
said,
momentum.
is there a way that you could intercut these? And I was like,
yes.
You know who loves intercutting? Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Nolan. Shout out to Christopher Nolan. I know you're watching.
Thank you for watching. He loves to intercut between 3 scenes. Impossible for us. But 2 was pretty good. And I think actually that idea genuinely made this next section, these next 2 minutes, twice as exciting.
I remember you telling me about this whole let's intercut them back in 2021.
Yes.
And you were very excited about it at the time. And having seen it now, I really appreciate how well it works. It really works well because you want to share the load. You don't want to have too much of 2 of them and forget the other 2 because then it feels like, oh, what happened to them? You know. So they're still around and it's all good.
I'm glad it made it exciting. Yeah, that is the goal. All right.
I really like this next shot. Just saying.
This specifically this
Yeah,
shot?
this one.
Yeah.
Very clever.
There's a couple of things going on there.
I bet there are.
You can see there's the donut. Now, I won't tell you how, but originally that donut didn't quite look right. It was really fat, and it didn't look anything like the donut from before.
No.
So I used some visual trickery that even I can't tell what I did. I know what I did, but I'm glad that worked out. And then there's this
looks good to me.
little tilt up, which transitions, and then Kira is smiley and looking forward to getting this donut.
She knows it's hers.
I love as well the costume as well. Kira's wearing this only because she's hiding her gymnastics gear underneath it from the first day. Because again, we thought it was only going to be one day.
Yeah, only one
day.
day.
The kids just wore normal clothes. They were like, oh yeah, that should be good. And so all the clothes look super normal, which again adds to it. That's the point.
Yeah,
it looks super normal.
Just a regular day.
But it is just funny how the kids basically didn't even think about what they were wearing the first day because they were like, whatever, this is going to be over in a moment. And then they ended up wearing it for 3 years. Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you liked this shot, Nathan. Is there anything you wanted to point out about this shot that you liked as well?
Well, the focus and the it's so low to the ground too. It's probably one of the lowest shots to the ground you did, I would say.
Yes. It was actually
from the perspective of the donut. You know, we were talking a lot about the kids level. But this is actually the level of the donut. The donut is the main story of this shot. So there you go.
There we are. And then
the beautiful sunlight coming through
the force.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there we go.
Didn't know donuts at Donut King could do that, eh? Yeah, look at this. It's dangling.
Oh, that shot was so hard to do.
Oh, I bet it was.
Firstly, just making it fly with the real force, very hard.
Yeah.
But Kira managed to use it.
I know how you did that.
And then just having a good time. This shot itself.
I mean, I think it would have been a lot easier to make this shot with wires as opposed to actually using the real force.
I don't know why we didn't think of that.
Yeah, it would have been a lot easier.
We wouldn't have to
Anyway, had to use the force to pull this special effect.
Well, my force wires that were being used were almost impossible to remove in this shot because there was so much moving. You can see. We don't
want to spoil the movie magic, Josh.
Yeah.
Don't point it out, otherwise we'll never unsee it.
Well, you won't be able to see it.
Yeah,
all the background is moving, but. Honestly, it took me about 3 hours just to make that look like there was absolutely nothing going on. It's just floating. It's just using the force.
It's really impressive how you've been able to get that to happen. And it's just so close to her. It was there, but
and then there's this whole mystery, and the music's like...
The music here is just really
a little
good.
force accents as well.
It's about as intense as it gets, this part. It's super intense.
There we go.
But we're going back to our favourite duo who have shown their lightsabers already.
Yes.
Charlie.
Oh, look at that. Literally just the force. What could possibly be holding this up other than the force, Nathan?
Well, good question.
Nothing else. It's just the force. Thank you. Thank you, Kira. Yeah.
Kira's very
I'm
powerful.
pretty happy with.
Yeah.
You can't tell this now.
No, you can't tell. You can't tell anything.
And we're back. So here we've
there's
cut.
this enormous tree.
Yes.
A very impressive tree.
Big divider between the two of them.
Yeah.
And it's this little standoff here. And
if it was just a regular tree, it just wouldn't have had the same effect.
True.
So I'm glad you planted it that area. It was really handy.
And when Charlie pulls in his lightsaber, that's actually just a little character moment. I tried to have as many of these as possible, where they do little things, tells you a bit more about who they are. And so you can see Cooper is the one who's still intense. He's still ready to fight because he's got his lightsaber open. But Charlie's like, maybe we'll actually negotiate. Maybe we'll talk about this.
Well, as the older brother, his job is to sort of set the tone and say, look, let's down tools just for a minute, and I'll go first, and then you put your lightsaber away.
That's a thought. So it's not absolutely. It's not ingenious.
But Cooper had other ideas. I think we're fine. I don't think he was quite keen to play along with Charlie's ideas.
That's right. So there's lots of things that I don't think anyone would ever think about. The fact that he pulled in his lightsaber or why he did that.
Yeah.
But the hope is it feels right. And I think that ends up working out.
Yeah, you're thinking about it now.
Yeah. Yes. The hope is no one thinks about it, but now you are.
Yeah. It's so cool, though.
All right.
Yeah.
Oops.
Here we go. We have a bit of dialogue. Here we go.
First time of dialogue in a little while.
Are you sure you don't want to share? I said it's mine! You already had 3 greedy guts.
Not probably the right choice of words there. It's just fired Cooper right up.
Like as well how it goes almost a mid shot, bit closer, closest as it gets more and more intense. Just a little thing, but it's just all throughout the video. I storyboarded, not literally by drawing stuff. Sometimes I did, but very rarely. Most of the time I just typed out what I thought the right shot was for the right moment. And again, it's the sort of stuff hopefully no one even thinks about. Why is this shot here? That sort of thing. But again, I think it feels right. And there were some times where this is where we then reshot stuff, including this entire fight scene we shot the first time on the second day of shooting. And it wasn't that great.
It could have been better,
and
it got better.
And so we made it better.
This is a great final version of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And just So funny. Good. Nice to have little character moments where they can talk to each other. It's not just straight fighting.
It's just you've got to have those human moments.
And then I love this little horn that's included in this deep hit. I use that horn a little bit and pitch it to different things throughout for Cooper specifically because it's always just, like his little motif.
It fits. It really fits.
And then I love the look on his face. And then this intense run. I love this bit. Actually, just before it starts. These next 5 seconds are my favorite choreography in the whole movie.
Wow. Okay.
I think they came up with it themselves. They just practice and practice and practice and practice and practice, and it's so quick, it's fast, it's exciting, it's swingy, and the camera work ends up working with it as well, and it's so cool. What I'll talk about, what I like about the other fights as we get to them. The Charlie vs. Cooper, its biggest strength is it's just awesome, and the choreography is amazing. I
mean, credit to them for all the training and hard work they did to make every little detail pinpoint accurate.
For sure. Yeah. And we practiced over and over again. We did it so many times. but it's so cool. All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. This is
little
your
set.
favourite bit.
Not, it's not necessarily that much higher above the rest, but
choreography.
it's just so cool. All right. Let's go.
One-handed at times, I think.
There's just so much energy going on.
It feels so visceral, as we said before,
And it's so
close to him. There's the
running,
lightsaber.
and again, it's running with him. Ignite the lightsaber.
And it's low angle
And look
too.
at this. I love this. Just these 3 hits. Boom. 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 Wait, 4 hits. And bang.
Bam.
And then, boom. Look at them go side to side.
Yeah, and they're
and back
twisting
around.
their
And
wrists.
you can hear as well, like listen to the surround sound of this bits as well. Not for us, but for
for
people
those at home, Yeah, the sound effects there are just,
back and
they
forth,
really
back and
sell it.
forth.
The sound
I'm
effects
glad.
really sell it there.
Bang, bang. Boom. Put him on the back foot. Uh-oh. Bang.
Boom.
And I love, you can see I run forward with the camera to emphasize the kick, and Charlie is flying past.
And
then
tracking it.
accidentally, we see Cooper standing menacingly there as it cuts. And it's like, so good. I'm glad it worked
That
out.
is just perfect. Because if you took Cooper out of that last shot, it looked a fairly empty shot.
That's right.
But having him there,
it used to end here.
Yeah.
When it was one continuous fight.
Yeah.
And it just cut then to Cooper. But I was so glad that this bit that he did. Oh, look at him.
The threat's not gone. The threat is very much not
Charlie's
gone.
like, what am I going to do?
He's ready to finish him off. He's ready to finish him off. He's got him pinned to the tree.
Man.
He's in trouble there.
And then, Kira. Intense close up. That's so cool. I think it's maybe the closest close up in the whole video.
It's uncomfortably close.
But very intentionally uncomfortable because Kira is so uncomfortable. She's like, why can't I get this donut? There's all this mystery, and you hear the force going on.
I can feel the pain.
And
What do you know?
there's another
I forgot
horn.
Zach was in this.
Oh man. So intense.
Did you just feel pain watching this? It's like, it's so close.
And then again, this was a really hard shot to use the force on.
Every shot seemed to be pretty hard, but especially this one.
because of the rack focus, where the focus changes, was really hard to make this work, if you know what I mean. And I love, Zach's facial expression. And there's a little detail for those at home who have noticed that. I won't point that out if you haven't noticed it before. But there are others who notice that thing and see it every single time. Thank you, Zach, for that little fun moment there. And then we come back, and then here we go. And it slowly builds. Some of these force sound effects.
At the moment where it suddenly builds the music, you think, maybe the donut's just going to break here or something like that. But that would be too obvious.
True.
And it would ruin the last donut because it'd be the last half donut.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is not the movie. So the donut is still pristine.
That's right. That's right.
It is just that indestructible.
Just super strong.
It's indestructible. It'd probably be very hard to eat. It'd be like, that's really hard. It's probably not actually that tasty. But anyway, it looks good.
You can see little cracks, and I think that's funny. That to be honest wasn't intentional, but it's kind of fun to see little cracks as they're using the force on it. It's like, whoa. Yeah. And then, they just use the force so hard that they're just exhausted.
And they're both exhausted at the same time. One of them just had a little bit more power in them.
If only.
The movie would be over, so thank goodness for that.
I think that's funny. And I hope you enjoy these little accents to all that sort of stuff. Some of that is just straight from Star Wars.
Yeah.
Some of that is from other little bits and pieces. Pitched up, moved around, just trying to make it not distracting. It's really added to it.
Yeah. And perfectly centered in the frame too.
Oh, thanks.
And they're really selling
this shot as well. super hard to get.
Yeah.
Because if you know how we did the force generally, which we were talking about with the wire,
Yeah.
this was so hard to have it hovering in the middle. Like, imagine how long the wire had to be, and how do we actually have it hanging there in the middle?
You do wonder.
And I'm not going to tell.
Must have been a massive crane.
Yeah,
It was above. That would have cost a lot of money to hire that for a day.
But it was pretty cool for that one shot.
It was worth it. Yeah. Blew the budget out a bit though.
There we
movie
go. Brilliant acting from. I just want to highlight, not to move on too quick, Kira and Zach. This was look at it, just intense acting.
It's not easy to make that.
No. And the sound of their voice going as well and everything. It's all just adds together.
Yeah.
Very difficult to piece. This was actually this
great.
section was one of the hardest sections to make work well, because of all the sounds. Because there's not heaps of music. Because we've got the force. There's every tiny little bit had to fit together. Otherwise, it sounded off. So. Yeah, all right. And then it's like, oh, what's going to happen next?
Ad break. Is our recording still working? We wouldn't want to have gone this far and it not to save. Are you sure it's definitely going to save?
3. Yes, it's all good. It's plugged in, it's charging.
It's definitely not going to die on us.
No. Well, good thing was we know from last time, even if it died, it still saves.
It still saves.
Yeah.
We're
all good.
You sure your phone's charging?
I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Let's move on.
Okay. We are 1/3. Almost a third into the video.
Yes, we are doing well for time.
All right. Let's see it.